Welcome back. I'm Frederica Whitfield. So when the Republican convention kicks off officially in Cleveland on Monday, various weapons and items will be banned from the event zone around the arena. They include knives, toy guns, tennis balls, and aerosol cans. But people inside that event zone and outside on the streets will be able to carry loaded guns. Ohio's open carry law permits that. Cleveland's police chief, Calvin Williams, says, quote, "Our intent is to follow the law, and that the law says you can have open carry. That's what it says. Whether I agree with it or not is another issue," end quote. The Secret Service has banned guns from a smaller secure zone immediately surrounding the convention center. So this could lead to quite the legal quandary. Our legal guys are here. Avery Friedman, who lives and practices law in Cleveland, with us. Good to see you. And Richard Herman, a law professor, joining us from Hawaii. Aloha to you. All right, so gentlemen, always good to see you. So Avery, you first. So how will police and others find balance in both enforcing and honoring this law?
Well, it's a very interesting issue. Yes, Ohio is an open carry law. The city of Cleveland, interesting enough, tried to pass a law regulating guns and firearms. And you know what? The Supreme Court of Ohio threw it out, saying unless you're a convicted drunk or a convicted felon, you've got a right to carry that gun right out in front. But the interesting twist, you actually nail the issue. It is the jurisdictional battle. We're going to have a presidential candidate here in Cleveland, and I'm here on the ground. And I can tell you, Secret Service is running everything near the convention center, and that means there's about as much chance of holding a gun and possessing a gun as Sonny Corleone in a toll booth. It's never going to happen. Guns are banned.
So, but then, Richard, you called this situation, a security nightmare for Cleveland because there are certain barriers in place, but then there are certain areas where it might be permissible, where others, other times it's not. How will people in general know and feel safe and secure, and why do you call it a security nightmare in the making?
They won't, Fred. And just because Avery says guns have been banned, oh boy, I guess no one's going to carry guns. That's so wrong. There are going to be so many people armed around this convention. This convention and the environment in the United States right now is so wound up. This is a perfect storm right here, Fred. To have these people legally be able to carry assault rifles out in public, handguns out in public like the Wild West, in a situation where police are now getting shot, where, like them or not, hate them, love them. The Trump campaign is a divisive campaign, objectively speaking. People are wound up. Avery, you ought to get out of Dodge. This is going to be rough out there. I'm predicting
I'm happy to be here, pal. I'm happy to be here because we're not going to get out of control, Frederica. The fact is there's a coordination between the FBI, Secret Service, Cleveland Police Department, Ohio State Patrol, and believe me, the cops are everywhere. They're on bicycles. They're everywhere. The reality is that despite the general idea that guns are going to be rampant in Cleveland is a fallacy. And I can see in the street what's going on. The fact is that everybody coming to Cleveland is going to be safe. And believe me, law enforcement is going to watch over those guests.
But then, Avery, you also, understand the concern of those who say, this convention and any convention is really inviting an environment where there are going to be protesters from all walks. And if there's also in place the allowances of, because of the open carry law, there's concern by many that some folks might take that privilege, that honor a bit too far, especially as it pertains to conflicting views coming together.
Oh, and as a matter of fact, that's exactly right. We are going to have mass protests. There are lawyers lined up to make sure the constitutional rights of those individuals are protected. The courts are going to be open 24 hours. But the fact is that law enforcement is so strongly present, even though some of the groups, Frederica, have said they're bringing guns. There is no chance, based on what we can see out there, that anyone with any kind of firearm is going to get even close to this. So despite the generalizations we see out there that everyone is going to be safe and sound, despite what anyone else is saying out there, it's going to be just fine here in Cleveland.
And Richard, why do you continue to disagree?
Well, I continue to vehemently disagree. And if you take a list of the groups that have organized and filed petitions to be able to protest this, you're going to grab your heart. It's unbelievable. It's from A to Z. The West Baptist nuts, the new Black Panther Party. I mean, everybody under the sun is coming to this. They're coming armed. It's going to be, I hope Avery's right. I pray that Avery's right here. But I just think this is a perfect storm, Fred. And I feel for the people in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. And of course, just because people have conflicting and differing views doesn't necessarily, mean that something terrible is going to happen. It simply can be that people are gathering with different points of persuasion. Avery Friedman.
Exactly right.
Richard Herman. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Frederica Whitfield. Much more of the newsroom straight ahead.